Assalamu alaikum. My name is Roman Chaudhary. By profession, I am an architectural visualizer. I have been making tutorials of architectural visualization specifically in Urdu language from past 2 years. So this tutorial, I am making my tutorial in English, but I'll keep my accent very slow so that the people who have been regularly watching my tutorials, that which were in Urdu, Hindi, they can still understand what I am delivering, what I am trying to say. So I hope my accent wouldn't be very fast. It will be totally understandable. If still I fail to convey what I am saying, if it gets difficult for you, you can always ask anything from me through my email ID that I have given in the description box below. You can go and check it out. So my topic for today's tutorial is how to do cardboard type of rendering in Corona. Let me show you an example of what I am saying. So here it is. So these are two renderings that I did for one of my design projects with the help of Hassan Shabbir and Ali Shoja, very talented architects. So as you can see, this is a rendering, but the moment I uploaded these images on internet, people got very confused and they started saying, where did you get these models done from? Because within the first glance, this thing looks like a physical model, and my intention was to make it look like a physical model. So yes, I got succeeded in what I was trying to achieve. So if you look these images very closely, you can see I worked in detail with these images, with these models. If you see all these edges having some sort of ambient occlusion, having some sort of dirt going on through, and all these trees, so these little things are helping in bringing that model sort of touch in whole rendering. But the way I did these renderings is very simple. I'll show you in a couple of minutes. So let me show you the other image too. So this one is the other image of this whole visualization, and you can see how close it looks to a cardboard model, a physical model. So this is the model for me today that I will be using for this rendering. I will go in the top view. So let's make a plane beneath this whole model. Its size should be covering the whole model. When I will be giving it a perspective view, the plane should be covering the whole viewport as well. So let me press Shift F initially so that I can see according to my resolution. Let me see what resolution is going on in the render settings. Okay, this resolution is very reasonable for now, so I will get rid of other settings for now. And what I will do next is I will increase the size of my plane to the level where I can make it infinity according to my viewport. Okay, so let me add a camera too. What I will do is with the help of this toolbar of Corona, I'll place a Corona camera over here and I'll give it a bird's eye view type of view. When you are actually taking the picture of your model, you used to take it from the above level, that is kind of aerial view. So I'm going to do exactly the same with my rendering too, because I want to make it look like a very natural rendering. I will place a light, a source of light that is very necessary for this field. So I will go in the toolbar, I will choose rectangular light. So let me place a light over here. So I'll place a light over here and give it direction should be facing your model. Okay. Always keep this in mind, the bigger the light, or what I should say, the more the size of the light, the softer the shadows. the lesser the size of the light source, the sharper the shadows. Okay, this is a very useful tip. I am sure most of us do not know this thing. So I have placed a light, but let me add a generic material. So what I'll do is materials, Corona MTL. I will press Control A to the whole model to select the whole model. So now I'll select this one, and you can see the whole material. This one is applied to whole model. So now let's hit the render button and see what is going on. Let me also press Ctrl S. I do not want to lose my file. Okay. By pressing Shift Q, I am going to start its rendering. So now as you can see, the lighting is pretty much looking reasonable, but obviously there are some tweaks that need to be done. So highlight compression value should be more than 15 or 20 because highlights were burning so much. Okay, so this is in the reasonable condition now, but the shadows you can see shadows are smoother, but there needs to be some sort of light here as well. So what I'll do is let's copy this light source. Copy, do not instance this because I am going to change its properties a bit. So let's get it rendered first. Okay, so this is the result I'm getting right now, but I should reduce its intensity, so this area should remain a little bit in shadow. So intensity, let's reduce it to 20. 50 was the default. So yeah, now this looks a kind of reasonable result I wanted to achieve. So now the next step that starts is material making. Material is something that will make it look like a physical model. So what I will do is, let's open the material slot. This was the material I had applied on the whole model. I will make it remain the same. Okay, by double clicking it, I will assign the diffuse color. Let me show you the rendering. So you can see the color I have used in this rendering is a little bit of creamish yellowish white. So let's assign it a color accordingly. I think this one will work fine for me. Brownish, but less brown, not too much. Okay, now let's also get it rendered first and see what is happening in the rendering. Okay, so this looks fine to me. As you can see, rendering is happening very fine. Rendering is going on great. Let's do the magic with the rendering. What I'll do is now, first of all, I will start its interactive rendering too, so I can see what is happening in the viewport, in the rendering. Now let's make the detailed texture for this whole thing, you know. Okay, with the diffuse color, I am going to add in the diffuse color maps, Corona Ambient Occlusion, Corona AO. So you can see what it has done already. Let me open the Ambient Occlusion settings. So what is happening here? There are two types of things, occluded color and unoccluded color. So what Ambient Occlusion basically does is the area of the model where two meshes are attaching with each other. Occlusion works on that specifically on that area, and unoccluded means the rest of the area where meshes are not attaching with each other. So let's see what next needs to be done. What I'll do is I'll go back in the main texture. I will assign unoccluded part with the same color. So now you can see what is happening with the model. The same color is back here, but I want to achieve this kind of thing with the rendering. I had added another texture in the model, so I'll tell you in a couple of minutes what I did there. So yeah, what I will do for now is Occluded area, as you can see, is in the black color, and already where the edges are happening or where the meshes are joining with each other, already that area is very much black. So calculate from this is right now in outside mode. I will replace it with outside plus inside. So now you can see the outer edges are also getting this black color. So 8 foot, that means from that edge it is spreading 8 feet wide. So let's reduce its area to 2 inches or 1 inch roughly. So now you can see the ambient occlusion is spreading very nicely, very uniformly, but within 2 inches of that area. I have already started achieving my results so far, but I need to tweak it more to make it look more realistic. So let's copy this color to occlusion, but let's make it a little darker so you can achieve some realistic results. Let's make it look make it more darker, and also let's increase its area, maximum distance. So as you can see now, by increasing its distance and adding some color, darker color of the unoccluded variant, you can see it is now already looking like a physical model. But let's achieve this kind of texture filling too. So what I will do now is, in occluded color I will add a wooden texture. So in occlusion, maps, corona bitmap, and now I will go into my directory and add a wooden texture. Okay, so let's go with this wood. Okay, so now you can see as soon as I added the wooden texture, it started looking very nice already. Exactly this was the feeling that I was looking forward in this rendering, and I have already achieved it, sorry. So I'll decrease this value a bit. So this is the way you can achieve this kind of rendering. This technique is very useful, especially for students of architecture who want to present their models in a very artistic way, and if they don't have the time to make physical models too. So this is something that you can do with your model, because I know the SketchUp based model do not take much time to build. Within a few hours you can do very complex modeling too in SketchUp, using SketchUp, or even in 3ds Max. So this is the rendering style you should opt to present your model, because realistic rendering is still far-fetched for many students out there, and what they do is they mess up with the whole model after doing realistic renderings. And I do know that realistic renderings also do not get that much realistic, and they look very pathetic at the end. So this is the style you can opt. As you can see, this is not a very difficult method. With very few clicks you can do very beautiful renderings. So I'm hoping this tutorial was helpful for you guys. If there is any sort of suggestion, any sort of question regarding this tutorial, please email me, I'll reply you. So take care. Allah Hafiz.